Go Devils. J-Dog back to answer some more goddamn questions. We had some fucking paid skis finally roll back goddamn in. 3 to be exact. And the first one is from Juan Magana. Paid question. Send 20 USD to my kind of homie. Make up for this goddamn drought. What's up, J-Dog? My name's Pablo. Pablo? Doesn't say the Pablo in your goddamn fucking, in the subject line of the PayPal sending. I'm from hell, a.k.a. Arizona. Yeah, I've been there. It's hot as fuck. That's for goddamn sure. I hear you coming to Arizona. What the hell you doing in my state business? Watch my goddamn vids. You know, bro, Tom. I go out there a couple times a year, or at least once a year. Visiting friends, interviewing fluids. Well, I mean, I asked. No, the reason to go is a family trip. My sister-in-law lives out there, which is Lindsay's sister. So we go out there for that to visit them. But yeah, I mean, what's his face from Fluids hit me up about doing an interview. He saw that I was out there, and like I said, if you watch my other videos, you see that I've been out there multiple times, and I did a couple videos out there. And he's like, "Yeah, you're out in fucking Phoenix, and you didn't even hit you up." All right, well, I hit you up now, bro, town. And it's been fuck. I emailed him at least 2 weeks ago. No reply. Another guy, dude. No reply. It's like, you hit me up. I was like, here's my dates. Tickets are bought. I'm definitely here. X, Y, and Z dates. Let me know, homie. No reply. So yeah, I'll do an interview with Fluids. If he hits me up, hits me the fuck up. I mean, I'm not gonna hold a gun to his goddamn head. It's his idea, goddamn it. If you've never been, you gotta check out Sedona. That sounds familiar. They may have drove us up there. What was out there? Maybe. My second question is, if you like lifting heavy ass weights, give your best Ronnie Coleman impression. I would purchase more from Hell's, but a new record store popped up here dedicated to metal. However, they don't have Disaster, so I will be ordering very soon. Yeah, we got Disaster all right, goddammit. Best Ronnie Coleman impression. I mean, you know what's funny is I mean, I've seen so many goddamn Ronnie Coleman interviews. Met Ronnie, got my goddamn photo with him. I got his book that he put out 2019 he put it out. So I got it and I bought that. He signed that. And yeah, me and Elcat got a photo with him. So that was cool. But my favorite is not the traditional like his sayings and shit like that in the gym. I mean, the best thing I heard is probably my favorite podcast. If you listen to his bodybuilding podcast, I think they call it the Old School Roundtable. It's basically Dennis James started it, which I'm a Dennis James fan. He's a retired pro bodybuilder who competed in the late 90s, early 2000s. He's on it. Milo Sarshev is also on it, which I'm a big fan, and yeah, I've met and got my photo with Milos, and also Chris Cormier is on it. The three of them are regularly on it. Initially, Dennis started it when he started a couple of years ago. He was just interviewing guests and shit like that. But after he had Chris on and then he had Milos interviewing them, they just became like a weekly thing. So all three of them kind of hosted, and they have a good formula together. And it's about, I think it's less than a year old episode when they had Ronnie on. It was just fucking hilarious, dude. When they were kind of telling like their Chris Cormier stories and shit like that. Well, Chris is on there, mind you, and because Chris back in the day was a big time fucking party animal, even when he was competing. A lot of guys believe that if he had like the mindset of like a Dorian Yates, that he would have won the Olympia. Many people believe that, but he kind of coasted on his genetics. Not saying he didn't work hard or nothing, but it's like you didn't work as hard as you think, man. Because outside, I mean, maybe you train super hard in the fucking gym. Okay, cool, but they all are. It's like, but outside that, it's like you're partying your ass off. You're out in the club literally all night long during contest time. It's like that. Like most people would not be able to get away with that genetically. So you kind of coasted on your genetics. Flex Wheel is another one. And Ronnie is telling us stories, and I started busting up laughing. And when Dennis is like, he's like, hey Chris, you remember? He's like, yeah, we've gone out a couple times. We had a couple rough nights together, right? Ronnie's in the ring. He's like, couple. He's like, it was more than a couple. He's like, well, which time? He's like, well, it was every time. Oh, as far as carrying him out, he's like, yeah, which time do you have to carry him out of the club, Connie? Well, what do you mean, which time? It was every time. that shit, I was fucking rolling on. That was where my favorite Ronnie interviews talks. I mean, he had some other funny shit, but I would say probably that was my goddamn favorite. So, but yeah, that's a podcast I really like. From Adam Benenson, also known as Layla Lover. He sent in 2 paid skis. So here's the first one. Paid question. Sup, dog? Paid follow-up here. I like the list of bands you gave for an iDog Summer 2025, showing your response to my order question. Yeah, and I actually, as of just today, actually, I text Scott from Cyanide, asked if they would do it. He's giving me a beat around the bush fucking answer, but I'm getting the vibe that he doesn't want to do it, which is, no hard feelings. I'm not mad if anybody does it. I just, kind of a bummer. It's like, well, why not, dude? I mean, you only live once. I mean, you guys don't play many shows, which is cool, so it's more nostalgic. Um, I mean, in my mind, when I'm thinking of it, when I'm talking to him, it's like, what do you have to lose? Again, I'll pay you for your time. How much you want? I mean, within fucking reason. I mean, I'm not gonna pay 10 grand, but money in your wallets, plus your expenses. It's a weekend. It's drive down. You could drive down this because it'll be on a Saturday. You could drive down Saturday morning, 6 hour drive for them, but probably better off driving down that Friday nights. Play the show Saturday, so stay in a hotel room on the dog 2 nights, and then drive back Sunday. It's a weekend. If say it's $1,000 between three guys, $300 in your pocket to kind of just to play the music that you like. Because let's face it, I mean, Cyanide's not doing this for the goddamn money. That's for goddamn sure. It's not a career for them. It's just a hobby. So you get to perform your hobby in front of people in a different town. Theoretically have fun. I mean, I would think it's somewhat fucking fun for you, right? I mean, you do this because you enjoy it. So $300 in your pocket to have kind of like a memorable make memories weekends. I mean, like what else are you doing? Like I understand. I mean, he's probably in that category. And don't get me wrong. I fall into that myself, and I try to push myself out of it if it's within reason. Unless it's stupid shit I just flat out don't want to do. Kind of grumpy old man syndrome. I don't feel like doing it. I'd rather just stay home. I get that, but dude, when you're shooting yourself in the foot, why do you just want to stay home when it's your passion involved? Now, if it's some like dumb family event you don't want to go to, and it's like, hey, you're not doing anything anyways. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to go to that. It's like, quite frankly, I mean, I would rather just go to work to do that. I mean, to me, this events, which there's most people I don't have much to say to, got zero in common. Just going to talk about the weather and goddamn COVID and stupid shit. Well, the election coming up, I don't need to sit through that. That to me, that to me, you want me to come out that pay me for that. That is, I have no interest in going to this. But when I find myself being lazy when it's a show or something of a band that I like, again, show, well, you don't go out to X, Y, and Z show. Big D used to bust my balls like that back when he was going to shows like crazy. I'm like, yeah, but dude, you're down the street, technically walking distance. I mean, it'd be kind of a long walk, but you could do it from the club, and you got nothing going on that evening. It's easy for you to go. I'm not just going to go to any random garage rock band because they're playing that bar. That doesn't interest me. Now, if Ultra comes into town, hey, we're here, and by the way, we're playing the entire Youth Against Christ album, and if the dog's like, had to work today, kind of sleepy, got work in the morning, that's being a fucking lame. Dude, that's when you got to pull yourself up and be like, dude, you're just being lame. Why? What are you doing that's better? What are you possibly doing that's more worth it in your life worth living? I mean, this is the shit you say you like, you like. That's the way I look at it. But again, if it doesn't want to do it, doesn't want to do it, and I'm not pissed. I just think that we all need to stop and look at things sometimes a little bit differently and check ourselves. Again, I'm definitely guilty of this, not as much as used to be because I'm trying to get much better. But 5 years ago, I was pretty fucking guilty. Maybe not Scott and I. Hey, you get paid to go to an event you like. Guilty. I'd be like, I'm all over that. It's kind of like, hey, something's in Chicago, dog. Hemorrhages playing and a bunch of other bands you playing. By the way, we're gonna give you we're gonna pay for your hotel and we're gonna give you $300 in your pocket. Want to go? Fuck yeah, I'm going. Like, why would I say no? I mean, yeah, it's a weekend that I'm busy that weekend, but you just want to rot away on your goddamn couch? I don't. So, the way I goddamn see it. What the fuck they leave on this goddamn shit? So he says, Tosh call costs to this against at midnight would be sick. Yeah, but don't bank on any of those. I don't know. Toxic might be on tour. I could see the price maybe being too steep. And what I mean by too steep for Toxic is you got to keep in mind, for example, I technically could ask Immolation too. Ever since my interview with Ross Dolan, and since we're doing those goddamn picture this, here and after, Failures for Gods, and Close to the World Below. Watch them out for goddamn hells. They're coming out soon, goddamn it, next month or two. They're at press. That's for goddamn sure. Keep your eyes peeled. Deathmetal mandatory wax right there. So I technically could ask Immolation, but the thing is the reason it didn't, and again, it's not off the table. Maybe I would. It's just what I'm thinking, and Toxic falls in this too, depending on the prices. Okay, they're a bigger boy band, so their value goes up. Yes, automatically putting them on the bill, it does draw some heads, but it's not like they never played Cleveland. They played every town. So it's not like them doing a one-off show, and usually one-off shows, aka fest, because this is technically I would fall in the fest category, even though it's not a fest, it's just a one-day show. But you can argue a one-day fest, even though it would be pretty much max 5 bands based on what I'm brainstorming, maybe more, but it'd probably be that. Their price goes up. So let's just say on tour, Toxic Holocaust gets paid $1,000 a night. I can see them easily being for a one-off show, minimally 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 plus expenses. Okay, when you do the math, it's like, yeah, but okay, but dude, like since you guys play so often and you've done tours, and it's not gonna be a super long time till you play from my show, does that price justify that? If you draw, fuck yeah. If you bring in 300 people, absolutely it does. But if you're only gonna draw just you guys alone, 100 people at a $50 ticket, yeah, you could say that justifies it for sure because that's 5 grand. And that would justify it because 5 grand, it says $3,000 plus expenses, then club. That's well, I mean, I don't even know if that justifies it because that's about your cost right there with everything in, not even counting the other bands. So there you go. I have a feeling Immolation would very much fall in that same category, probably more. I could see them being like one-off show, bro. We're 5 grand. That's damn near denial God goddamn price with the tickets and everything. So I would be like, yeah, it'd be cool to have Immolation, but it would have to be something a little bit more special. Like, all right, Immolation, you want to do it, and you're fucking 5 grand. Let's do something special. How about you do a set list where it's only the first 4 albums? Because now it's something different. Something like, oh, an old heads will perk up. Yeah, I only like the first few, I only like the 90s albums because there's guys out there like that. Then that might be like, oh, okay. Where you put that on the flyer, the advertisement, the ad, advertise a show like that might be a little bit more worth it. So keep that in fucking mind. I would for sure come to see Nunslaughter again. I'm not saying Nunslaughter I definitely wouldn't have, but I probably wouldn't. Nothing against the Nun. It's just like I probably wouldn't have Molder or Melting Rod again. Not that I'm against having them. It's just I don't. It's like I already did my first show, right? I don't want the second shows to be all the same bands. Preferably, I want it to be all different bands. So not that a repeat band's a bad thing. It's just I don't know. I would like to keep it a little different, especially for the guys, people like the Bucks and shit. If they fly on out, there's different bands. Um, it's kind of like Maryland does that. They don't have the same bands every goddamn year. Yeah, as years go by, because they get so many bands. Well, they got 100. Of course, you got to recycle some here and there. Um, same idea. So Nunslaughter is not on my immediate to do bucket list to have for that reason and only reason, just only that reason. Otherwise, yeah, they become like my first go band because it's easy. Don's going to give you a cut and dry answer, yes or no, and there's no dicking around. I mean, he's not down the street, but it's an hour drive for him, just like it is me. It's nothing outlandish. It's easily doable. He said, I would also throw out there Exhumed. Exhumed crossed my mind, but again, Exhumed falls in the category of the Immolation of Toxic Holocaust, with even worse because they would need flights. Mike, the drummer, wouldn't need a flight because he lives 20 minutes from me, so he could just drive it. But Matt Harvey would need it, Sebastian, and raw sewage. So that's 3 flights right there, $300 to $400 a piece. So round on the higher end because it's always the fucking higher end with the dog. So you're figuring $1,200 just in flight tickets for Exhumed. And what is Exhumed to play a one-off show? I can tell you right now, I never asked them. I don't want to put their business out there because I don't know what it is. But I can't imagine it's more than 1,000 for a one-off. It has to be for the size caliber band that they are now. I would imagine it's at least $2,000 plus hotels. So you're looking at minimally $4,000 for Exhumed minimum, all in. Is Exhumed going to draw $4,000 worth of tickets? Hence, they toured quite a bit. They got a tour coming up here really, really soon. They're doing the first 3 albums from what I understand. I think that's what they're doing. They played here in Cleveland since 2019, 3 times I think, and they're always on the road. So yeah, Exhumed is a good band because I'm a big fan of. But again, it's got to be worth the reason for the money. You know what I mean? The biggest hindrance is especially the flight tickets with them, on top of whatever guarantee they want for a one-off show. Mortician, Mortician's pricey. I know that, so that I doubt that. I doubt I'm going to have them. Although I wouldn't be against it, but I know they ain't chump change. Let's just say that. Kurnagia, Graveworm, and Faith Extractor. Kurnagia, Graveworm, and Faith Extractor. Those would be bands that again I'm not against, but they would have to be like, hey, we'll do it for $200-300, because they're not going to draw anything. It's nothing against them. It's just they're smaller caliber bands that that's just what they get. That's all I can pay. It's like you're going to draw on 20-30 people. That's what it is. Pay tickets. I mean, you're kind of more excited because they're not local to you, but I've seen those bands multiple times, and most people that are going to any local Cleveland shows have as well. And not to mention Graveworm, I don't even know it's Kevin. I don't even know if he has any other members. He just writes all this shit and records it in his house or whatever the hell he does. To my knowledge, he doesn't have any of the live members, so he probably wouldn't be interested anyways. Or would he work with his time to gather some guest musicians for $300? I could see him being like, "This isn't worth my time and effort." And I'm like, honestly, I don't blame you. I agree. I probably wouldn't do it either. Would love to see more of the local bands, and they might be easier for you to book. I just don't know how psyched others would be. To my guess, I would guess they wouldn't be very psyched. That'd be my guess. I would definitely be there again from Connecticut next summer, unless I am dead or in jail. Youngstown is a straight drive from PA. Yeah, yes, it is. A very straight drive, very easy. New York and most of New England. Just avoid all those crack den hotels. I'm busting out the bigger wallets on my next stay, goddammit. Sounds good, sounds good. And then he's back again, Benison, for another paid question. Back to back, goddammit. He puts Sup Devils, Layla Lover 90 back with a second paid question. 2 in 1 day. It's the way I like it. Making up for that drought. Like the drought some of you goddamn devils are having in your pink panties, given the incel level of comments lately. Too much watching Uncle Grandpa in Mother's basement. Some of them are, dude. They're obsessed with the Grandpa and the Sponge shit. Don't know what it's all about, but again, I guess as long as it's comedy, whatever. But hey, fuck away. Question: the wife and I just bought a house, and I wanted to see if you have any suggestions on the best ways to design a custom office setup for my CDLP collection. Also, if you could just have 3 pictures of this on your wall, what would you choose? Cheers and shout out to the Devils, Robert Green and Joe Dinkins. I had so I just we moved in, I had my CD rack custom built. Nothing elaborate, dude. I just said that just did the measurements to where there wasn't too much space on the top, but I didn't want the size of a CD. I planned for about another. I said give it another extra inch because you get some of those box sets. For example, the way the New Dying Fetus came out. Immortal, Damned in Black. I have that version. The new Destroyer 666. The last one, it had the box version where it has the box that goes, not the slipcase versions, where it's an actual outer box that goes around the case. They're a little oversized. So if you just have 2 sizes of CD or even just a 16th of an inch extra or 1/8 of an inch, those won't fit on the rack. You're like, fuck, now where do I put these goddamn things? So the way it's set up is you can just put those in alphabetical order, not having to worry about them not fitting. Other than that, I just said, I don't know, this overall size, because I measured the wall space that I was going to put it on. Measure that, so let's go this length, and I plan for something that can hold right around 1,200 CDs. The LP racks, I still have these cheap-ass fucking Walmart plastic goddamn racks. Main reason I have those is, people are busting my balls and brothers and shit seeing them. One, laziness, because that's what I already have. 2, I kind of like them because anytime you have to move, they're super easy to move. Once you load all the LPs off the shelf into a box, and then hence have a movie company move them, they're already off the shelf. The plastic shelves are so light, you can just easily pick them up. They're like, I don't know, even all stacked put together, it's like 12 pounds or something. Very easy to move, as opposed to a wooden shelf it's going to be heavy as fuck. It's a project. I guess if you don't plan on moving anytime soon, it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know about you, man. Moving sucks fucking dick. I fucking hate it. So I planned for that because since I've had them, I moved whatever 3 times, between out of my parents' house to the first house. And then it was enough to where it's enough of a hassle. And I took that in consideration because each time I moved, I'm like, these are easy to fucking move, and they held up. They never failed me. So I'm like, fuck it. I mean, yeah, they look a little bit fucking hillbilly, a little bit on the cheap side, but hey, they do the goddamn job. And I don't know if Walmart still sells them. I bought those years ago. Um, they were cheap too, like $10, $15, something like that, 20 max. Um, Cheap and affordable, and they did the job. The hell of good quantities worth. I think each cube holds, I don't know, probably about 60 LPs, I would say. So, yeah, I just stuck with those. So nothing elaborate. Like I don't have anything special recommendation on that. That's just what I did. And as far as only three picturists on the wall, there, if I can, two mutilated, serpents of the light. I want to say repulsed and horrified. I was going to say something like Slayer, Show No Mercy or something, but I like to have something like where it's in my tops and it's a little bit, doesn't attract as many of the canoes. Granted, so does the Cannibal and Deicide, but not as much as Slayer, as opposed to not that I'd have a random canoe in my house. But, maybe you get a cousin or something. Oh, you got Slayer. Oh, yeah, I like that. Just shut the fuck up, man. Because number one, you don't like the same shit. And second, if you do, you like Slayer and Slayer only. And thirdly, here's the fucking thing. You guys ever notice this too? When you bump into a random Slayer guy and he's trying to mingle, that's the one band that he's on board with you that you like. It's like, oh, first off, dude, cut the fucking shit. Let's get down to it. I was like, I don't like every album like you do. Your favorite album is God Hates Us All. I don't even know if I've ever officially listened to that thing in its entirety. I've heard it, parts of it. I remember not liking it. But you ever notice those guys? You can't prove it, and they kind of dance around it. You bring up Show No Mercy, at least I do, because that's the greatest. And they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But you're like, dude, I'm like 95% certain, not 100% certain, because even that's not obscure, that you definitely don't own Show No Mercy. And I don't even think you can identify it. Let's say it was on the player and like Evils Has No Boundaries or The Antichrist or Tormentor or Black Magic, any of those songs were on. Would they know who you're listening to? Maybe, but I get the vibe that they wouldn't. But even when they say they're pointing out, well, they like Slayer, it's like, I'm sure you like some albums by them, and that's the one band we got in combo. At the same time, we don't, because the shit you like, I don't like, and vice versa. And I've always thought that, because I've had guys in my gym and shit, I'll bring up Slayer or whatever. I'm like, you're not a Show No Mercy fan. I get Rain and Blood, you probably are. I'll give you that. But I'm a Rain and Blood down guy. You're probably a Rain and Blood up guy. Maybe Hell Awaits, they know. I just get the feeling that most of those guys, they don't know Show No Mercy. So it's like, the intermingling and having the conversation is already annoying. When it's like, okay, great. Well, number one, I'm not fucking impressed, even if you do know Slayer and you know the Show No Mercy album. But on the second hand, it's like, I'm pretty sure you don't even know this one. Again, don't know for certain. Didn't hurt you up into a lie detector, and I can't read your mind, but I'm pretty good at reading vibes, and my canoe fucking radar goes off when I'm just sensing this guy, just the way you look, you talk, you walk, everything. That's not a Show No Mercy fucking listener. Just fucking ain't. So could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm fucking right. Because when it comes to that shit, I usually am. Comes with concerns you don't do. Pulling out my skin right in the morning later. Goddamn it.